Hello there, everyone. So I was just about to start when I realised I hadn't turned my mic on. Ooh. Sorry. Hold on. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I've had a pretty quiet day. I don't know about you. Well, I say quiet. Had my daughter pop in. Then I had my daughter-in-law pop in with my granddaughter. But otherwise, I've had a quiet day. And my roses are coming out. But the rose heads are very small. They're not like, when you see a rose, you see the big full rose. They're not like that. So I don't know what type of rose it is, so I'm going to have to Google it. Take a photo and Google it. I'm doing good, Michelle. How about you? Oh dear. So last night we was talking about, I was playing the interview that Fred, Ryan Finds Truth. Now I like Ryan Finds Truth. I found that channel before Ziggy, to be honest with you. Because I remember being on Ziggy's chat, when Ryan comes up in the chat. And I thought, oh, that's nice to see Ryan finds truth here. You know what I mean? But after that, like I said last night, when she did that live, after they had their little spat, after Ziggy and Ryan had their little, Ziggy had their little spat about Ryan. And she sat there on a live and said, anyone who's subscribed to Ryan, who's also subscribed to me, either unsubscribe to Ryan or unsubscribe to me, or something like that. So I went on to it and I was clicked the unsubscribe, Ziggy. Yeah, I am unsubscribed to you that very night. The night you told everyone to unsubscribe to Ryan Finds Truth. Just because you didn't get what you wanted. So go fuck yourself, Ziggy. No, but bearing in mind, this corner of my front garden was very overgrown, right? And hadn't been pruned back for God knows how many years. So when I moved in last year, it was round about, I moved in the August, so it was round about this October time. My son got me these pruning clippers, and I went out and I pruned the bush back. I thought I did a bit of a brutal job on it, but obviously I didn't. And I pruned the rose bush back as well. And I thought, I hope I get some roses on this. And I have, but they're so dainty. It's not like I'll have to take a photo of it and show you on here, because it doesn't look like a rose, but you know it's a rose because it's a rose, because it's got a fucking thorn bush. And how do I know about the thorns? Because one went in my fucking finger on Monday. Bastard. And then my granddaughter was going, oh, Granny, did you hurt yourself then? And I was fucking blood. I went, yeah, I did, sweetheart. She come up and gave me a cuddle. That'll make it better, Granny. Oh, sweetheart. I'm not wasting my coffee on fucking rose bushes. But then again, if I've got any of that coffee after I've made the coffee, like ground it, that yucky stuff after you've made your coffee, yeah, I'll put that on it. So yeah, I know it's a fucking rose bush, and I've been pruning it back every so often. I go out there and look at it, and I see some dead things on it, so I prune that off. But I've got to prune a bit more off, so I'm waiting for the end of the year now before I prune it off, because I can't get into the middle of my bushes where the manhole is, because the rose bush keeps attacking me. Yeah. So I went out there. my son dug it over for me, this little area around the manhole of that corner bush. I bought some topsoil. When my son brought it me, thank you, Simon, and I put it down the other night, and then I put all my sunflowers. Now, I haven't got these tall sunflowers. I've got these smaller, like bushier sunflower, and it comes out with a big head on it. Well, I've got 6 of them in there, and 3 of these other plants in there, but I can't remember the name of them. But I'm gonna get some grasses, like I want a black grass. I want some light grasses, greeny grasses and things like that. Anything with movement I want to see out there. Use grounds. Oh, I can do that. Yeah. But I'll wait till the end of the season now, Michelle, for that. But fuck it, dang off out with that. And it was actually sticking in my finger, sticking out my finger. I had to, pull it out, and I thought, ouch, that hurt. But my little granddaughter come and gave me a cuddle, and then as she's helped me with the soil that we overturned and all that lot, the grass lumps and everything, she said, "Here's another cuddle for your grandma." Oh, what do you want? That's what I get when Olivia's being nice to me and giving me cuddles and lovies. Which isn't very often. But lately, the past few weeks, well, past couple of months, she's been really. Since Angela moved out, the first month she's a bit iffy with me. But since then, since I'd say Angie moved out when? May? Yeah, May. So since the beginning of June, she's been really nice and loving to me. I'm thinking, what do you want? And then she's come over today and she's got the mum and dad have gave her a phone, but you can't get on the internet with it. Well, yeah, you can, but it's only for her YouTube kids. Sorry, you can get on the internet, but it's only for her YouTube kids. That's it. Right? She can't get anything else on it. She can't make phone calls. She can't message people. Can't talk to people. And she showed me, and I was like, Olivia, she just rang. I said, you're fucking 5 years old. What the fuck do you want a phone for? I said, I was playing with my dolls when I was 5 years old. For fuck's sake, 5 years old. And then her mum said, well, it gives me a bit of peace and quiet to get the housework done. No! Give her a slap and tell her to shut her mouth up and behave, and then get your house done. Oh, my Lord. Just imagine my mum. Mum, I'm bored. Go and do your writing. Because before we went to school, we didn't have nursery, remember? So we went to school at the age of 5. We didn't have nursery from the age of 2 to 3 and 4. None of that. So your parents taught you. I knew how to write my name. I knew how to write my address. I was the only one in my class who knew how to, in my, what their class is year 1 now, right? Not reception, year 1, primary 1, right? I was the only one in my class who knew how to spell tricycle and bicycle because my mum had taught us. You know what I mean? Okay. I'll have a look at that later, Michelle. Because I've got to go to the garden centre. I want to get that grass stuff you mentioned as well. And my son said, you'll probably get that from a garden centre, Mum. I went, okay. Looks like you're going to take me for a trip to a garden centre. He went, who, me? I went, yep. I said, well, who else can take me to the garden centre? My daughter can't yet because she hasn't passed her test. But when she does, we'll be at the garden centres weekend, every week. When she's got days off and things like that, we'll be going out. Anyway, last night I was playing the video where Ryan Finds Truth was interviewing the sister of Fred Hill. Now, you all know me, I don't like Fred Hill. I think he's a waste of space. Right? Fred Hill is the neighbour who lived up the hill from Candice and Don. He's the rug dealer up there. Yeah, he's the rug dealer. So, I don't like him. And then you got Ziggy saying who had that little spat with Ryan just because he wouldn't release this information he found out. He wanted to put it out himself first, right? And then she could talk about it. Then she'd see it on his channel, and then she could go on her own channel and talk about it. She didn't like the fact he wouldn't give her the information beforehand. That's what I understood it to be. I'm true that is, I don't know. But I do know they had a big falling out. So then she gets in with Fred and all this stuff. And Fred and her, over the past, since they've been married, if not before, but they got married, have had digs at his family, his sister, his mom, talked about his mom and his dad and other people, right? People who aren't even involved in this case, right? But they live up that way. Yeah, Fred Hill, if you ever get to hear my videos, you were the only one who put yourself, you've done it, you put yourself on Ben Hill Road at all different times of the day. Did you not? Because you put yourself on the road when you saw Andy Bernard, you put yourself on the road when you saw when Candice come up to your house, you put yourself on the road all over the place, right? You're the only one who put yourself on that road at that time when Summer went missing. No one else, just you. So you want to sit there and accuse your sister of killing her husband, which we know she did not? Then think about Summer Wells. What do you know that you're not telling us? And don't try and fob Donna off like you have, sending her all over to this other area of Hawkins County, right? Well away from Ben Hill Road. It's like, don't go look round there. No, you need to be looking over here. That's what you've done. Yeah, I've spent more on Sebastian than I have Summer Wells. But you see, I know a lot because I used to watch other YouTubers before I started my own channel about Summer Wells. And it was Summer Wells' case that got me to think, you know what, I'm going to get myself a laptop and I'm going to start my own channel up. Yeah? So it's Summer Wells that got me going. But I've never really covered her. I've done the odd live here and there on it and that. Right, but I thought, no, there's so much in this case, and I'm fed up of all the BS that is going around in this case. Fed up of it. Because none of it is helping find Summer Wells. None of it. But you got Donna, Reverend Donna, saying, and this is why I don't listen to her. I don't think I even subscribe to her no more. Reverend Donna Serafina. I don't think I am. She said on a live, the last time I watched a live of hers with Sweetie Pilo, and Fred and Ziggy was on it, right? And saying how you need to be looking over this area and all this lot. And I had my maps up while I was watching that video. I'm going, that's well away from Ben Hill Road. Why would she be over there? Right? So, you see, then turned around and said, Fred Hill is the guy. He's the one who's going to who's going to crack this case wide open. He knows everything. I went, he hasn't even been fucking cleared. No one on that road, on Ben Hill Road, who lived on that road at the time, has been cleared. And if they've not been cleared, they're fucking dead. Simple as. Right, yeah. And it's because the reason these two cases are so crazy is because of all the BS that's been thrown out there, all the distractions, and the only ones to suffer, like I've just sat and watched Six Up. Now she's a channel that reviews other channels, right? Now she's got a good following, which is fair enough. If that's what you want to do, that's what you do, right? And she's covered Ziggy a lot, but then Ziggy has rang her mouth about Six Up as well. And I'm thinking, she's sitting there. I'm listening to a live from Ziggy's from, I believe it was the other night. I'm not sure now. And she's going, I'm not on YouTube no more. So what do you want, right? Do you want me to come on a live myself? I'm going, hold on. Just stop there, Ziggy. Ziggy. Have you just heard what you said? I'm not on YouTube anymore, but you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube because you're mouthing off about Ryan, but then you're saying you're not on YouTube. So make that make sense, please, Ziggy. Please. No. And you know there's a lad, right? He used to come on her channel, watch her channel, right? I'm sure it's Ziggy. I apologise if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. And this lad had learning disabilities sort of thing. And he wasn't a lad, he was an older lad, put it that way. And he used to send her money, everything. And she had letters from his carers, his caregivers, his mother or whatever, right? Telling her to stop interacting with their son. Because she's taking money off him, oh, he's such a lovely lad. Yeah, here's another $100, you know what I mean? No. So, anyway, I sat there today and I thought, and I'm going through a lot of the old Summer Wells videos. Like the first interviews they did with the news people and all that lot. And Brian Yankton. They did one with Brian Yankton. Well, John did. A couple of months after, I think, oh no. Apparently, when he did the interview with John, I'm not joking. I sat there and I watched this interview which Brian Yankton did with John. And I might play it actually because it isn't a long one. But Brian Yankton turned around and said, it's been 5 months now. And John turned around and said, 5 months? Yeah, 5 months. Wow, I didn't know that. This is your daughter and you didn't even know how long she'd been missing for? 5 months? You didn't even know it'd been 5 months that your daughter's been missing? I swear to God, when I heard him say that on that video today, I thought, what? What do you mean? Seraphina got busted? What for? But no, I'm not subscribed to her channel anymore no more. Because of what she said, you need to trust Fred. He's the one who's going to crack this case open or something like that. I mean, he's still not being cleared from that fucking case. And I'm not putting my trust in a convicted criminal. Sorry, no, not happening. I'll do my homework on people. I'll watch their videos. And I'll only put my trust in people I've watched. And not only just for a couple of months, maybe a year before I put my full trust in someone, another YouTuber. And at the time, Fred wasn't even a YouTuber. It was Ziggy's channel. Beginning to think straight. Think at night is well. Is as well. They have done nothing in either case. At night isn't in Summer Wales case. Well, they are, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Everything's gone quiet on the Sebastian Rogers case. That's why I haven't really covered it lately. Well, a few weeks, about a week ago was the last time I covered it. And I'm trying to find new info, new videos that I have not seen. You know what I mean? To look at and to watch. But I can't find any. Yeah, actions speak louder than words, Michelle. So, well, let's put this up. When it goes up for me. Right? Possibility number one. There's loads of possibilities, by the way. I'm only pointing out 3 tonight. There are more, which I will cover. Right? There are more possibilities. Okay. I know MC said going to do other cases because his views are suffering. MC. Well, he used to do other cases. He needs to. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I'll still do updates on the case of Sebastian Rogers. It'll still be my number one case. And I will still look into updates and have a go over the facts and things like that again. So that's it, Mob Crew. I'm thinking then MC. I think. Then I realised what you meant by MC. But anyway, it's sad to say, and this is what they want. This is what they want the YouTubers to do: is to stop talking about Sebastian. But I'll not stop talking about Sebastian. I'll still cover it every now and again. But this case, I didn't really cover this case of Summer Wales. I watched other YouTubers because I remember it coming on our news in the UK once when she first went missing. And then when I was sitting in my flat in Dundee and I was watching YouTube and this thumbnail come up with Summer Wales' face on it with the name Summer Wales and all this, I'm thinking, fuck, she's still not been found. And I think we're going on 2 years by then. Right? Yeah, he's saying, yes, I've seen that. I haven't, well, I've seen the thumbnail, but I haven't seen it, the video. Sorry about that. Give me a second, I'll just go and get some juice. Oh, sorry about that. Just when I got myself one of them Costa drinks, classic latte. You know, the Costa ones in the cans. I like them. Yeah, I don't think either of them are going to have a happy ending. I don't either. I'd like to think so, but my gut is saying no. My heart is saying I'd like to think so. I'd like to think Sebastian will be found. I'd like to think this little girl will be found. But fuck, it's been 5 years now for her. 5 years now. And there's no new information because apparently TBI or someone or FBI put out a statement the other day on the 5th anniversary. But if they said they're still working on the case and all this like blah blah blah. As someone said, if there's any new information, they just said we've got new information we are looking into, and we're following up all the new leads. They didn't say that. So they've got no new information. Yeah, they went to Van Hill Road, right? Now, I think it was Ryan Finds Truth, did an interview with the son whose father's house it was they went to. Because they even went to his property as well. Did an interview with him. And yeah, okay, someone could have probably got onto their land without being seen. Yeah? Fake the pigs without being seen. But they were saying, like, when all this was going down in Van Hill Road, oh, they're taking bags and vans and trucks of dirt away. No, they weren't. All those trucks of dirt that was being took away was from another property next door, where they're doing some construction work and things like that. Yeah, both kids just went poof, never to be seen again. Now, this is where I'm looking at tonight because I think I've got 3 possibilities tonight. There are more than 3. But the first one is, was there an accident in the home? And I've mentioned this before when I have mentioned Summer Wells. I have said, could there be an accident? Right? Because it had been known for her to climb up them ladders onto the roof with her brothers. Could she fell off the roof? Could she fell down them fecking ladders going down into the dungeon? Could she slip going down there? Right? Could she have hurt herself in that house was a danger zone. It wasn't a house, it was a danger. It should have had danger all over that house. Let alone outside. But people are saying, you don't understand that people who live up on these hills like that, that's how they live. I'm sure they don't all live like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure they don't all climb down ladders to go into like a bunker for their bedroom. So was there an accident in the home? Now, what's her name? Brian Enton touched on that. And Don was going, nope, 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 because Candice knows too well. If anything was to happen, she knows to phone the police. She knows to phone the ambulance. She knows. No, she wouldn't. You forget, Don. We know. You forgot. That you had CPS on your doors. They'd been was it the day before she went missing or the couple of days before she went missing? They'd been to your home. They was due to come the day after the 16th. They was due to come to yours on the 16th. Did that threaten to take Summer Wells away from you? Aye? Exactly, accidental, intentional. And it's like I heard someone say, could the brothers have hurt her? Oh, yeah, why not just throw the brothers in on it now then? Throw them under the bus, right? So I'm going to pull up the map for Ben Hill Road, okay? And one night this week, it'll probably be tomorrow, we'll look at the video of the house. It's Chris McDonald done, right? But he didn't release, he done it about 2 or 3 months after, about 2 months or so, he went there. After some hours went missing. But he didn't release it into 2 years, 18 months to 2 years before he released that video. Because he works for the cold case team. He couldn't go there and then release this video straight away because they needed to know, keep that video as proof when if they was called in as a cold case team. But they were never called in. So about 2 years after she went, because it was, when I started watching it, so it's about 18 months to 2 years that he released that video of the interview he did with Candice. One in 2 parts. One was at the watering hole, and the second part, he was supposed to meet Don as well at that house, but when he gets there, Don isn't there. You think someone was left in the car too long, and here we are. Yeah? Yeah? There is no forensics on this case. There is no forensics at all. Because like Sebastian, they didn't go in and forensic to looming on or all that lot. For heck's sake, they were still living in the house. They never cleared them out the house to do a forensic search on the house. God, if they'd have gone in there to do a forensic search, they'd have been there fucking weeks going through that lot. So we know they didn't do no forensic search on the house. Did they even do a forensic search on the property itself? So there is no DNA on this case. There's no DNA from Sebastian's. Without a forensic search, there is no DNA. So if we cover a case and there's no forensics done, then there's no DNA. So was she left in the car too long? Did she couldn't get out the car? Did she have an accident at the watering hole and she died in the car? And that's the cover up. But that's another one. That's another possibility. We're not going to that one yet. But yes, she could have been left in the car too long in that heat. And if you're listening to Chris McDonald's, I've never noticed this before, but I was watching it where he was breaking down that video. And she said she pulled up and she opened the 2 doors. her side door, the driver's side, and the side where Summer was. Why would you open 2 doors? Summer's not in the front, she's in the back, so you only need to open the one. So why was there the need to open 2 doors? Yeah, they live simple but run down lifestyle. Yeah, it's like when I listened to Chris McDonald said it as well. He said the house was in the stage of renovation. They was working on it slowly, but since Summer went missing, the work got done pretty darn quick. There's a proper staircase put in. There's a bathroom door put on, and things like that. So all those jobs that needed doing got done after Summer went missing. A bit like Sebastian. After he went missing, what did the parents do? Oh yeah, they put cameras. Was John a functioning rug user? I don't know. Because you do get these people that are like functioning rug users. They use the rugs, but they still manage to go day by day, go to work without any problem. And that's what they call a functioning rug user. Oh, CPS would have said something about the house, yeah, but that house hadn't been done. Nothing had been done on the house. It was only after someone went missing. And after the kids got took off them, the other 3 lads got took off them, did they fix that house up? Yeah. With Sebastian, Katie and Chris put cameras up after he went missing. With Summer, they literally done the whole house. They put proper stairs in, they put door on the bathroom because there's no door on the bathroom. They could be in there having a shower and everyone would see them when they walked in. There was no door, there was no privacy. The bedrooms were, well, they weren't bedrooms. There's just a room with a not even proper bunks, they've made themselves, which I can understand. If you know what you're doing, then fair enough, make your own bunk beds. Right? So, if I had the money and the know-how, right, I'd put 2 cabin beds in my kids' bedroom, one either end. So there's 2 cabin beds going along the one wall, sort of thing. But I don't know how to build a cabin bed. So I got bunk beds, a couple of years ago. And they are now sitting in all took apart in my cupboard, waiting for me to go in and start their bedroom. But I've got to get some paint stripper for that bedroom because after Angie moved out, there's so much damp in this one corner. I'm not joking, it was horrendous. And all along this one wall, so much damp on the skirting board. My daughter said, "Mum, you can't go in there and sand that down. You need to put paint stripper on." So, and then still wear the face mask. And then once the paint stripper's done its work, it'll just peel off. Right? And then you can sand it down. But you can't sand that down like that because the spores will just fly up everywhere. So it's a lot of work need doing in that bedroom. So I've got to get the paint stripper for that before I can even paint the skirting boards. And the window frames, I've got to paint strip the window frames because of all the mould that was on the window frames. because she wouldn't open a window. There's no air circulating in that bedroom. No. So anyway, so that's got to get done. I'm going to do that this month, get the paint stripper. So I can put that on, get the masks, put the paint stripper on. So I can strip all those skirting boards, all the window frames. But the one window, I need new windows in there. I need new windows. I'm going to have to tell Tam, because the people who lived here before had nails in the frame to keep the window shut. The one window opened, but the other one doesn't. And my son had to take the nails out of the woodwork, but all the woodwork got damaged with the nails. And the lock on it, the latch, is broken. So I don't really want to open that window, because I don't know if it's going to ever shut again. So I need to know. Right? But that's a possibility one. Was there an accident in the home? It's a big possibility. And with, as I said, with social services, with child services on their door, on their heels, they're not going to report an accident. They know they're going to lose their kids otherwise, definitely. They're going to lose their kids. Especially if she was up on that roof. And then there's possibility, what's the second possibility? I can't remember what the second one was now. Did Summer wander off on her own from the property? Now, it said she never went off that property. John said that she never went off that property. She always stayed on the property. She knew not to go off the property. However, when you listen to that interview that Ryan Finds Truth did with the sister, right, it came out that a while before Summer went missing, I don't know how long now, that Fred was going along with someone else in a car or a van, right? And he went, stop the car, reverse. So, said what for? Said, just reverse. So he gets out the van, he goes and gets this kid's bicycle, which was just at the bottom of their driveway, right? Which led on to Ben Hill Road then. And the sister said, what are you doing? What you want a child's pedal bike for? And he turned around and said, Don will know. Right? Now, this was before she went missing. Yeah? So, if her bike was at the bottom of their drive and the gate to their property is at the top of their drive, how did her bike get down the bottom if she never rode it down there? How did her bike get down the bottom? Hold on. I'm just pulling up my Google. Still hasn't opened. I have to stay. Otherwise it just won't open. Right. Right. Get off. Thank you. Done my maps then. Don't fucking do that to me, you little shits. I've got to take some things off this map because this was used for something else. That can be took off. That can be took off. Then I've got to go to, is it 110? I think it's 110. Yeah. And I'll try and where about this Bible was and where the chain is. It isn't a gate, it's a chain to their property. Such a shame. So I'm just gonna share this with you. Okay, go back up to here. And I'm gonna share the maps with you. Uh, I'm sweating. I don't know why. I had the heating on ages ago, but I've changed it up ages ago. Oh, come on. My chat won't move down. On with my StreamYard at the moment. I mean. You think it smells of accidental neglect? Well, let me get on to the third possibility. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works on the possibility. I'm trying to this to work so I can get my map up. It won't let me. How good did you miss my lines? Come on. Work, you cheap piece of shit. Thank you. Oh, come on. Oh, God, it's not letting me do anything. Fucking heading. Let me share something, will you? It's not letting me share. Well, I'm clicking on stuff to open it up, and it won't open up because it's a piece of shit. Come on. Share screen. Share screen. I'm clicking on the share screen, okay? You fucking show me, you piece of shit. Please, share my fucking maps. Oh, for fuck's sake. When it decides to open up. Thank you. Thank you, you piece of... What is this? I don't know what this is. Come on. Hide. I don't know what you are, so fucking hard. Hide. I'm clicking on fucking hide. Fucking works. Can someone please? Because this doesn't fucking work. Oh, thank you. Finally. Right. Let's just plug this in. Let's just plug this in. It's the thing I like trees. It's just plug it in and charge it. Right. So there's Ben Hill Road. This area. In proper focuses and everything out. Oh, God, it's not good. Can you do something for me, please, Google Earth? Thank you, then we'll zoom out. There's the road here. Right. There's their driveway here. And it goes quite a long driveway. As you can see, there's the entrance to it here. And the gate thing is somewhere around about here. Around about here. The gate to it. So if they're nearing a up there, and now here, right? I think it's there. Yeah. So you're telling me the kids never went down there? Even though there's big opening, walk down, but they can walk down it. And I know it's steep because I don't know what's causing that. Maybe Restream is pissing me off tonight. My mic's in, it's all working this end. It's all on this end. It's fucking me about StreamYard. A Restream. What are you putting up now? What are you putting up on my screen now? Swear to God. Fuck off. Right. Hopefully I don't have that cutting in and out no more. Because Google Earth was playing up. It's going mental on me. But anyway, it's quite a long drive. If you saw it, it's quite a long drive down to Ben Hill Road. So, if her bike was at the bottom, nearing off the bottom, where Fred Hill could see as he drove past, or as they went past, yeah, then that tells me someone would go off the property and down to Ben Hill Road, go down the drive. However, when the dogs came out after she went missing, I believe they only went to where the gate was, the chain was. That's where the scent cut off at the chain. Oh, right. It was maps and playing up Google Earth. Sorry about that, everyone. So, let me put my possibilities, move the screen back up. Did she wander off the property on her own? She could have gone down to that other shed where I said there's a big opening where they can walk down to that shed, and there's a little creek, and you go over the little creek, and the shed is there. Right, she could have gone down there. They could have been playing hide and seek and all that lot. Her and her brothers. And then we've got this one. Did someone close to her take her from the property? Now, the reason I said this is going to throw a spanner in the works is I've always said no. No. No one would have could have got up on that property without being seen or heard. And don't forget the dogs that were all on that property, like 13 of them plus. They'd all gone on holiday that day. There's no dogs on the property that day. They'd all gone. They'd all packed their bags and gone on holiday. But they was all there on the night time. Yep, they was all back there on the night time. So they didn't go away for the whole day. They only went away for a few hours. Anyway. Now, she says, Candice says, the hover mum, helicopter mum, I don't believe that for 1 minute. Because where the grandmother lived and where their house is, it's the distance from my living room window to my end of my garden. Right? Now, if I lived on a property like that, right? Or my daughter lived on a property like that, and I had a little bungalow thing there. Yeah? I know for a fact I wouldn't have to worry about my daughter going from my house back, my granddaughter going from my house back to the mum's. Because it's not a main road, there's no cars coming and going, it's on their own property, right? She'd go out there and play all day long. So why did the mum feel she had to walk her across to the house? That does not make sense to me. Anyway, where the dog trail is, there was a video done with Don. Don was talking with someone else and they was doing a video, and they took the walk down that dog trail to the main road. It leads to the main road, not Ben Hill Road. I think it leads to the main road. I'm not sure now. Or was it? It may have led to Ben Hill Road. Not sure. But there was a red truck seen in the area. So Candice says that the lads told her she went down to the basement. Now, come on. If you've watched any of the interviews, they've always said she loved being outside. She loved playing on her swing. She loved chasing her brothers around the property and all that lot while they was on their moped, their little mopeds. She'd chase after them. She loved being outside. Now, if you watch that video of Chris McDonough, it's a home. Her bedroom, her and her little brother's bedroom, who was 9 at the time when she went missing, the youngest lad was, their bedroom, you can't call it a bedroom. It was how. No little girl is going to want to go down there and play. Not when her favourite toy of all is outside. She loved that tree swing. She loved it. So why would, what should I do? Should I go downstairs and play in that dark, dingy hole? Or should I go outside on my swing? Right? I think she went back outside because her mum come over, brought back over, then went back to her mum's little caravan to do the brace on her knee brace. I think she's gone more than 2 minutes, more than 5 minutes. I think Candice was gone for like 10 minutes, if not longer. Right? Oh, God, my watch is telling me to stand up. No, I'm not standing up. Just fuck off. Right? So, I think Candice was gone for like 10 minutes, if not longer. And she gone out to play on her swing. Now, if someone had managed to go up that dog trail, yeah, they could have. They could have done it. It's not easy, but they could have done it. And I said, but it's not easy to get down. You're forgetting Summer Wells grew up on that property. She knew how to get up and down them trails. She knew how to get up and down them dog trails and those bike trails and all that lot. She knew. She wasn't, oh, I can't get down there. It's so steep. I'm going to hurt myself. She's going, oh, let me get down there. I want to get down there. She's a rough and tumble little girl. Right? She grew up with 3 brothers. I know how that feels. I grew up with 3 brothers. And I had 2 older sisters. And then there's 3 brothers older than me. So I grew up with 3 brothers. So I was a bit of the tomboy. I wasn't all girly. I was the ones that give me the jeans. I'll wear jeans. Rather than, do you want to wear this dress? No. I'm not wearing that dress. Oh, but you look so cute on you. But I'm not fucking cute. Give me my jeans. Where's my jeans? You know what I mean? So if someone had parked down on that road, they could have got up on that dog trail, seeing her on the swing, maybe gave her a little call. Summer, hello, come here. Right? Summer knows this person. She trusts this person. So Summer goes to that person. Come on, let's go and have some fun. Want me to take? Shall we go here? Shall we go there? Summer's gonna go with that person. Now, bear in mind, what I'm gonna say next is just my opinion. My opinion. No, right? No one else's. It's not fact. It's not true. It's just speculation, if anything. They could have took her down that trail and into the red truck. Now, this is where the speculation comes into. Well, all of it is speculation. When the poster was put out, there was a poster put out and it had the information about wanting to know about this red truck, right? Now, Summer used to go to the school, Sunday school thing. She was very close to the Sunday teacher there, very close to her. The Sunday teacher owned, hold your seats, everyone. The Sunday teacher owned a red truck. So, did she think, after what happened with her hair, like people say, why did she have her hair cut so short? I think it was a punishment from Don, by Don. I think Don punished Summer and Candice. For whatever reason, I don't know. But I think it was a punishment. And he shaved her hair off. Yeah, she probably had lice. Wouldn't surprise me. But you don't have to shave a kid's hair off just because they've got lice. You buy the stuff. You buy the nip combs. You buy all the shampoos. I'll tell you an even cheaper version, which I used on my kids' hair. A teacher told me about it. A classroom assistant, I should say. They said, when you wash your kid's hair, wash it, right, with shampoo. Then, once you've rinsed all the shampoo off, get some white vinegar put a little bit in your hand and massage it into the scalp. And then you will see if there's anything in that child's hair, it's going to come to the top. Because breathe, the little neat, they can't breathe. So they come to the top of their hair. So you don't even need a comb then. You can literally just pick them out because they are gasping for air. I did it on my daughter's hair when she come home from school once on a Friday after she begged me to let me go in with her hair half up, half down. She begged me to let her go in, and she come out of school that night with ugh. So I got the vinegar and I rubbed it in the hair. Then after that, I did use a comb as well to get any eggs out, right? After that, I shampooed it again, put conditioner in it, not one bit of Lysol, whatever you want to call them itchy things in her hair. And it took me a matter of 10 minutes to shampoo it, put the vinegar on, comb my hair through with the vinegar to get them all out, and the eggs and whatever else, if there's any eggs there. There shouldn't have been, because there's only in there a day. Because in the morning, she had none in her hair. Because I combed her hair in the morning, I knew there was nothing in her hair. So what she come home with is what she picked up from school on the Friday. And so I knew there was no eggs in there. But for just be on the safe side, took me 10, 15 minutes. You don't need to shave someone's hair off. You don't. I think that was a punishment. But for Candice as well, I think it was a punishment. So could someone who knew her go up that dog trail? There is a video out there, I'll try and find it, of John taking them down the dog trail. Right? It can be done. Yeah, now they're taking an opportunity on was they there? They may not have been home. So the possibility of them being there would be very high. So if anyone did go up there, someone close to her, who she knew, who she trusted, went up on that property just to the edge line, seeing her playing on her swing, gave her a call. Come here, sweet. Come here. Summer, come here. Right? And away they go. For all we know, she could be in a nice family somewhere. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. But I think with all the publicity about this case over the 5 years, I think someone would recognise this little girl by now. And this is the latest watching out photo the FBI have done for Summer Wells. This is the latest one. This is how she would look at the age of 10. But that red truck, when you think the Sunday school teacher, Robbie, that's her name, yeah, Robbie, had and owned a truck. What she was doing to the flyers, any flyer that mentioned a red truck, you know what she'd do? Mark it out. Mark that information out. And someone pulled her up about it once and said, well, it's of no importance. Yeah, it is. It's a fucking red truck. Someone's seeing a red truck in that area at the time that she went missing. So yeah, it is of importance. And what gets me as well is when they first mentioned about the red truck, they said they are in no trouble. They could be witnesses, if anything, to what might have happened. You know, no one's come forward. Now, if I was driving a red truck and I pulled over for whatever reason, I don't know, pull up a map or something, or get some out the back of my truck to eat, whatever, a drink, whatever, and then carried on driving. Then I heard about this case. I thought, oh, I drove past there earlier. Oh, I think I'll phone the FBI. Because you got nothing to worry about. So why hasn't the person who owns the red truck come forward? So let's think about Robin, the Sunday school teacher. I can pull up an interview by, I think it was with Chris McDonough. I think he interviewed her. He did a lot of interviews, right? Oh, God. He did a lot of interviews, and he did, when YouTube opens up for me, I'll pull it up. So, could someone have come up to that party line? It's taking a chance that someone was there, or if someone was even outside in the garden, right? Yes, they knew a little girl lived up there, but they wouldn't know if she was there or not that afternoon. It's a chance they took that she was there. So, and because of that red truck being in the area and Robin, this Sunday school teacher, used to own a red truck. I think the chances are very high that she could have been waiting. But then again, they'd have drove past that red truck when they come home. So perhaps she did go up there on the chance, whoever it was who owned that red truck, did just go up there on the chance that they might see something. Because there's no way they could see into the cellar from the outside, because it's got that mirrored glass on the door. You can see out, but no one can see in. But if she was out on her swing, which I think she could have been, rather than down in that dungy, dark cellar, they'd have seen her playing out there. Because you see the swing from the dog trail. This is why I say I think when Candice went back to her mother's caravan, they wasn't sitting outside. I think they were sitting inside. Because if you think about it, they said those planting flowers, cactuses. There's no urgent worry about planting cactuses. But there's planting cactuses, and then they went into them grandmother's caravan, right, to wash their hands. And then she was giving a sweet by her grandmother, by her gran. And then she said she wanted to go home to her brothers. So Candy said, okay, I'll take you over. So the grandmother was inside the caravan. When they left, the grandmother was inside the caravan, not on the steps. She was inside the caravan. So then Candice has gone back over to her mum's caravan to help with her knee strap, so she says. Well, if she's got a bad knee, why didn't she have that knee strap on in the morning when she went to hospital? Hmm? If her knee's that bad, why was she not wearing it in the morning when they went to hospital? Why was she not wearing it when they went to the swimming area? Why was she not wearing it when they went round the shops? Why was she not wearing it when they got home that afternoon? If her knee is that bad, why was she not wearing it? The knee support. earlier. So the grandmother, I'd say, was in the caravan. Candice has gone back in, had a smoke with her mum maybe, putting the knee brace on, right, and all this crap. And then 10 minutes later, she goes home. In that 10 minutes, you're not going to see anyone come up on that. If you're in your caravan and the boys are in there in that living room area, the dining area and all that, like, glued to the TV as usual, so Candice putty, they wouldn't know if someone went downstairs or outside. That was just a guess. Where's your sister, boys? Oh, I think she went downstairs. No, I think she went outside on the swing, and I think someone who knew her, who she knew, had come up on that property through the dog trail and took her. She's not going to scream and cry because she knows the person, she trusts that person. But that's just the third possibility. And I would not, if anyone is out there, I would not cross that off your list because that is a possibility. There is a video out there of John walking. I think Don made it himself. I'm not even sure who made it now. But it's of Don going down the dog trail. Yeah, it's a bit. You can slip if it's wet or whatever. But you forget, Summer grew up on that hill. She'd know how to get up and down that dog trail. No problem. You know, kids, my grandkids, they go down these hills and they're running. I'm going, oh, I can't run like that. Oh, God, no. Where's the rails? I need something to hold on to, you know what I mean? Or where's the trees so I can hold on to the trees as I'm going down? Or I end up on my bum and I go down on my bum. The kids just run down these little steep things. I used to when I was younger because we used to go to the place up in Birmingham called the Lickey Hills. It's now called the Bluebell Woods. Right? And it was just hills. I'm not joking. There's one lad who used to hang around with us, and he had special needs. Right, but he's lovely. Ask him anything about football, he'd give you the answer. Right back to God knows what age, what year. He could give you the answer. Right? He knew everything about football. And he was with us one day and we was going down this one hill. And all we heard was, move out the way. We turned round and this lad had fallen. And he's just literally rolling down this hill. And it's like a cannonball coming at you. So we just literally split. Boom. So we could get past. He didn't hurt himself because he landed at the bottom onto grass as well. Right? He just but it's so funny how it happened. So, and even then, I was about, how old would I be? I think I was about 13, 12, 13. We'd go off for the game. My mum would not see us all day long until tea time. She wouldn't know where we'd been from one moment to the next. And this was miles away. We'd walk there. We'd literally walk there, and it was miles. Miles and miles and miles. But then because we're so knackered, we'd get the bus back home. And it was 2 buses back home. One back into the city centre, then a bus out to our house. But we'd run up and down these hills. We didn't care. And they were fucking steep. I could climb them hills no problem when I was that age. When I hit my 30s, it's like, oh, I can't. And I used to take my kids up to the Lickies. Me and my husband would take the kids up there. Oh, God, can't get these hills no more. I really couldn't. I struggled to get up the hills. But when I was like 12, probably 11, even 11, 12, 13. I used to run up and down them hills, no problem. And that would be like Summer. She'd get up and down them hills, no problem. Right, what am I looking for? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I forgot his name now. Forgot the name of the YouTube I was going to play. Brian Angton. Here it is. This was put out 23 hours ago. So what it is, it's just showing you the old interview that he done with, and it's interesting to watch this, especially the interview with what Don says, and then who he speaks to afterwards about it, which is interesting. When it opens up, that is. Right, just stop that a minute so that I can share it. I'll go back to this one. Not sharing it again. Share my fucking videos. Okay, coke. Let's just sort this out. Come on. Piece of shit, this off. Right. Just go to this now so I can hide them. Okay. Hang on, he's tonight. I've got one of them irritating. What's the name? On the back of my throat. The scent, from what I understand, only went to that gate. But we know there was no car that come up. I hope to God someone would have heard the car come up the drive. Right. So, did the car come up that drive and see Summer out on the swing? Did someone walk up that drive and see Summer on that swing? And then got back in the car, went down the road a little bit, and come up the dog trail? Because it can be done. Oh, it's so hard, it's so dangerous to get up and down the mill. They are steep, yeah. But then this is the one thing that people keep forgetting. She lived on that hill. She grew up on that hill. She knew the dog trail. She knew everywhere around that hill because she grew up there. She went running, hiding, and playing with her brothers around there, chasing after the brothers on their mopeds. She chased after them. She knew the area. She knew where they lived. She knew them hills. So we're going to watch this and just see what he has to say. I'll put the settings on. And then I'll just change. I can't change this page. Yeah, I can. When you say. So we're going to listen to this, okay? Okay.
Isn't found, and immediately there were a couple of theories
What
about
the fuck?
they were looking for red or maroon ladders. In the back, they said that was somewhere in the area, and they say the driver still wasn't a suspect, but they wanted to speak to the individual about what they may have seen that day. And to my knowledge,
Delete. Thank you. And then what else was there? Oh yeah, there was another picture I wanted to put up, wasn't there? Let's see. Medium. Fuck's sake. It's really out to piss me off. You know what this is? Oh no, I don't need to do that, do I? Sorry. I've got. Fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here at the moment. Sorry, everyone. Go to there. Come on. My mind isn't thinking straight at the moment because Restream. Alright, so I can close that down because I don't need that there now. And then I'll open up my YouTube again. Oh no, my wrist is hurting now. When my wrist and my fingers hurt me, it's going fucking way. And I'm in a lot of pain at the moment with my wrist. I don't want it to rain though because I like the nice weather there. I'm trying to get my YouTube to open up so I can get the video back up and running. For some reason my laptop's playing up tonight. If you haven't watched my video from last night, please go and watch it. It's about the interview with Fred Hill's sister, Karen. And it really got to me at the end. Because after everything he said and done to his sister, right? Everything, how he's accused her of killing her husband and she didn't. And she's got proof she didn't. And then called her son an RSO, which is not. She's had a heart attack in 2024 because of all this crap that he's been saying about her family, right? And the stress she's been under. So please, that interview by Ryan Fonz, I think was one of the best interviews he's ever done. He's done a lot of interviews with people, right? He does searches, but when he's run out of every opportunity of searching, he then goes and interviews people in the area and gets their story, their views, and all that lot. And the one of Fred Hill's sister, brilliant. And then you got Ziggy and Fred doing a video the other night, live, saying she's not on YouTube no more. Ziggy is sat on Fred Hill's YouTube account, stating she's not on YouTube no more. What the fuck are you doing then? What the fuck are you doing, Ziggy? You're on YouTube, but you're telling us you're not on YouTube. She fucking lost it, that girl, I swear to God, she has. Come on. Open up. So, I knew she would, because she would not be happy with what Karen said. And like Karen, the sister, was trying to keep up the payments on her mum and dad's house after they died. Right? Ziggy and Fred say that Fred was the what's his name, who had the estate, who was in charge of the estate and all that lot. Yeah. So she thought, why am I breaking my fucking back to find the money for this house? So she stopped paying it. right? She stopped paying the money to him. Said, well, if he's executor to the house, then he obviously knows what he's doing. He can pay for it. And the house then got retook off by the bank. And he didn't like that, Fred didn't. Right, I'm going to put this back on again. Hopefully it'll share. I've got 4 there. Remove source, yes. What the fuck? Hold on. I've got to remove some. No, I'm not moving. Right. So, but he's making out that left up to him and blah 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 and all this crap. There was no will. She had to give her ID over to a solicitor to prove who she was so she could sort out this, so that they could go to the bank and sort this out about the house. But then when she's paying for it, and then you got that twat face saying it's his house and blah blah blah. He should be paying for it then. I'm sorry. If it's your house, pay for it. So, anyway, let's get on with this again.
Found her body. Um, sort of family involvement. Now, keep in mind, Summer's parents, they have also been a complicated part of the on domestic assault charges or an order of he was afraid for herself, afraid for her children, but that ended up being dismissed. That was of 2021. This now, he has now been released from jail. Also, about a month after his disappearance, the Department of Children's Services removed the 3 children from their home and were unknown. Like a lot of that stuff is confidential. Last year, the Well said DCS dropped the case against them. They posted.
Oh, no, it's going to work. Right.
And there's like laws that protect cases involving minors. Are now back home with their parents.
The 2 younger boys got adopted because they gave their rights. Because again, social child services took the boys off them, and they had to do certain things. They had to jump through certain hoops, right? Then the last thing they had to do, they would have got the boys back, but they didn't do it. So they lost all rights to their boys. It's their own fault. They didn't jump through that last hoop. So the 2 younger boys have been adopted. The oldest one, which would be about 18 now, he was never adopted. Where he is now in the world, I do not know. Has he gone back to his mum and dad? I hope not. I hope he's got the support which he needs to get his own place, a job, and just go off on his own somewhere. You know what I mean? He don't need to be up on that hill. He really doesn't. Right, hold on. I've just got to get some. Oh, come on. I'm putting this the overlay on because then I can't be for copyright. Okay.
They had absolutely nothing to do with Summer's disappearance. They believe that she was abducted by a stranger, anything related to Summer. But they've been under the microscope, for years and years and years. And investigators say they haven't ruled anything out at this point. I actually talked with Dawn for a while back on it now with everything that's happened and all the time that's passed. Kind of just analyze what he said. So I wanted to play for you. I've never played the full interview.
Get this up. Sorry, I'm just seeing all the messages now because his stream I haven't been putting up. It always plays up when it's happened for years with my wrist and my fingers. They ache and my fingers were locking. So when that happens, it used to be my knee. My knees can play up. If my knees play up as well, we're in for a thunderstorm. Right? And I could set the weather on my knees when I was little. From when I was about 13. My knees would swell up like fucking balloons. And I said it was a rheumatoid or something off like that. There's nothing they could do. Just keep a support bandage on it on bad or cold days. That was it. That was me. Just put a support bandage on it in the winter months when it's cold. Right? And I now get it in my left arm, in my wrist, in my left arm, and I get it in my right hand. And when I go to the doctors about it, they go, "Oh, I don't see no swelling." Well, no, love, because the swelling was a week ago when I first phoned you. It took a week to get this appointment to see you. By now, the swelling's gone down. So because of that, they won't give me a diagnosis. It's fucking annoying. Right, we're going to watch this video now. Because this is the one where it talks to dog. It's like 5 months. Let's just see if it's going. Oh, he said, wow, I didn't know that. You're her father. You should have known. How long she's been missing. You know what I mean? It's like the mother to little Michael Monkey Vaughan. She knew how many days Summer Wells has been missing. She'd still know till this day how many days. But her own father did not know. He's gone, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, with Dr. Phil or whatever his name is. He said himself, after that interview, the interest was took off him and was put onto Candice. So it helped him a lot because no one was looking at him then, they was looking at Candice. Piece of sick piece of shit. And went down in that. I don't think she even. Why would she go down to the basement then to come out of it, right? To go round to the swing when all she had to do is walk out the front door and the swing was there. She wouldn't have to climb down those ladders to the basement. She wouldn't have to stand on a chair or anything to take the lock off the door to open it. Yep, reflecting. That bit kind of threw me, where he went on about, he's talking about Jesus, about Christ sacrificing his own son, how his son sacrificed himself for everyone else. I'm thinking, what the feck? What has that got to do with Summer Wells going missing? Come on. Her mother, when she was pregnant with Summer, right, because she didn't know she was having a little girl. When she found out she was having a little girl, the mother said, I'll have her then. Because Candace didn't want a little girl. But it was John that stopped it. He wanted the little girl. Candace didn't want Summer. John wanted Summer. No, they don't. And you have to listen to you on YouTube. Than to do that. She knows better than to do that because she knows that if she hurt Summer, he kicked 10 tons of shit out of Candace because Summer was his little girl. If she hurt Summer, he'd kill her, he'd unalive her. Sort of thing. She knows better. He said, she knows better than to hurt my little girl. No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. You have to tell the police there's an accident. That's why she fed them pizzas every day. crap neighbours are. Oh, sorry. Calling BS on that one. You knew Fred Hill. Because Fred Hill will come and get any old scrap cars off your property. Fred Hill was the Ben Hill Road rug dealer, where you would go and get your rugs from. The woman across the road, what's her name? Josie or whatever. You knew her as well. So you stand there and say, I didn't know my neighbours. Yes, you fucking did, you lie, little tosspot. You're wrong in this game. Oh, looking with you, Dom. Right? So then the day before she went missing, you took the Subaru. I think it was the Subaru car. No, the day the day before she went missing, you took the Subaru. And you had to take everything out of your truck, which you use for your work, put it into this nice brand new car, right? Even the people at your work was, whoa, why would you bring a car like that here? It's going to get filthy, right? And that day, before the day she went missing, you fired him. You fired your helper. And then you threw him under the bus, didn't you? Everyone was being thrown under the bus by you. No, they didn't. Oh, on the lab, but with Josh. And you was raging at him on the phone, on the live. You was raging. You was effing and cursing and everything. Was that a fake dog? That wasn't you then? Right? You're holier than fucking thou now. That wasn't you. BS. After this interview, Brian Ensign talks about it with someone else, and it even states that after this interview, it took them so long to get an interview with him, right? So long. But then after this interview, he goes on to YouTube, to another YouTube channel, and he's on that channel, blasting his mouth off. The Seventh Day Adventist Mormon. Isn't that a Mormon religion? Seventh Day Adventist. Yes, yeah, Michelle. well, Candice and Chris Proudfoot and Katie. The one thing they've got in common, well, they've got two. The first one is they've got a child that's just gone poof. Right? Just gone missing, disappeared with no shoes on, no warm clothing on. Right? Just gone poof. And the second one I find so incriminating sort of thing is the fact that he said he'll do the interviews for instead of Candice. You know what I mean? He's keeping Candice away by making excuses up for her. Oh, she's not well enough. You know what I mean? And Chris does the same with Katie. I'm protecting my wife. What are you protecting her about? And Candice was the last one, apart from the grandmother, who was with out the caregivers. Candice was the last one to see Summer. And Katie was the last one to see Sebastian. And both Don and Chris are keeping their wives, their partners, away from their cameras. That TBI director or whatever said they've made progress in the last year. What progress? What progress have they made in finding Summer Wells in the last year? Apart from raiding a property on Van Hill Road because of it must have been a serious tip off. They must have really thought this is going somewhere. This has got some substance behind it. You know what I mean? For them to go up with a warrant and go to the section of the farm where the pigs were kept, used to be kept, and all that lot. But there is an interview out there with Chris McDonough, who interviews the son of the man whose property on Van Hill Road they went to. Because they went to his property as well. Yeah. And they said, did this cause any, because there's a tree cutter, he cuts trees, right? And he said, have you lost, has your business suffered through this? He said, well, to be honest with you, no. He said, in fact, it publicised my business, and I've been getting more people contacting me about wanting these trees cut down or that cut down and whatever. So it hasn't hurt his business. Van Hill, I don't think they have got anything. Yes, is some relation to Fred Hill. Some relation. Don't know what be it first, second, or third relation to him. Oh, I'm just going to skip. This is the one I wanted to listen to now. Not me. I don't know what happened to Sebastian Rogers either. 'Hey there, Kylie. 6 up today, right? It come up on my analytics. I thought, "Oh god, I've got to subscribe back up to her." So I've subscribed back up to her, and she was talking, reviewing, um Ziggy and Fred about the video they put out about his sister after the interview that Ryan Finds Truth did with the sister. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you're not on YouTube no more. She kept saying, I'm not on YouTube no more. But what the fuck are you on then? What are you doing here? If you're not on YouTube, why the fuck are you on YouTube? Right? And I thought, she has totally lost it. Oh, God. No. Have you got to isolate? Right, so, and I saw your name pop up, some of the comments you're putting up there, and I thought, oh, there's Kylie. Are you having to isolate? Because last night I did a live, and I was playing that interview that Ryan Finds Truth did with the sister. I was so happy that his sister did that interview. But I with that the backlash from it by Ziggy and Fred again will stress her out even more. So, is it a good thing she come out and spoke? Yes, but Ziggy won in court yesterday against Six Up. She sued her. What the fuck for? What was she suing her for? Oh, I bet you are. See, Six Up is one of these channels where she reviews other channels, right? Especially if they have a go about her. And Ziggy's been into Six Up for fucking years. I stopped watching Ziggy from the time she had that fallout with Ryan Finds Truth. And she said on her channel, said something to the word like, everyone on here who is subscribed to Ryan Finds Truth needs to unsubscribe to him now. Harassment and stalk. How is she harassing and stalking Ziggy? How the fuck did she win that? Oh, fuck. She's going to be over the moon about you watch. She's going to be doing lives about it. Right? Ever since she said that about you got to unsubscribe, everyone on here needs to unsubscribe to him. Because if it wasn't for my channel, he wouldn't have all the subscriptions he's got now. And I thought, hold on, I found Ryan Finds Truth channel before he even come on to Ziggy's channel. Right? Because at the time I didn't have my channel then. And I was watching it on my TV, and I was watching anyone who spoke about Summer Wells. And this come up on my analytics of Ryan, I thought, and mentioned Summer Wells in his talk, and I thought, okay. So I watched it, and then I don't know, about 3-4 weeks later, I was on Ziggy's, and I see his name pop up in chat. I thought, oh, that's nice to see that Ryan Finds Truth is here. You know what I mean? So when she said everyone, because she had that little falling out with him, everyone needs to unsubscribe to him. I went on my phone, because I didn't have my laptop at the time. I went on my phone and unsubscribed to her. I thought, no one tells me who I can subscribe to and who I can't subscribe to. No one. And if anyone ever says that I'm alive and I'm watching their channel and I'm subscribed to them, I'll unsubscribe to them. It's like the other day, I was watching another channel, a UK channel, about UK Splosh, I think, Sploosh, his name is. And it was covering the protests in Brighton. And there's a Sikh guy with his wife, and he's a lovely man. He's got his own restaurant, and he's all pro-Britain. All pro-Britain. And he was raging at him for no reason. He said, I've got video of him. He's saying the best thing that could happen to a white person is something. And he was raging at this Harman Singh. And I thought, you know what? No, sorry. And I went down on my phone because I was watching on my TV again. So I went to my phone and clicked on, oh no, I could do it on my TV. So I went to his subscription and I unsubscribed to his channel. She has lost the plot. But fuck's sake. But I'm worried that interview might cause more the sister. That's why I say planting those cactuses, they weren't flowers, they weren't plants, they was cactuses. They go into the grandmother's caravan, they wash their hands, the grandmother gives some a sweet, then right, and then Summer wanted to go back to the house, to the brother. Now, as I said, it's like the distance from my house, my front living room window to the pathway in front of my house. Distance. Now, if I lived on a property, I owned land like that, and I was in I don't know, not a caravan, but a nice mobile home or something, and my daughter lived just that distance away from me, the distance where I could go, Dee, do you want a coffee? You know what I mean? Right? I would have no qualms about letting my granddaughter or my grandson go back home on their own at the age of 5 because there's no main roads, there's nothing, they're on their own property. It's just from her door over. But no, Candice says she walked her across and then went back to her mum to put the knee brace on. While the mum was in the caravan. So that meant Candice would have gone back into the caravan. Now, can you really see a little girl going down that dingy, horrible basement, right, to play toys that she had? No. I could see her going out that front door, swing, and from that swing, right, there was a red car seen in the area. Anyone could have got up that dog path, and it has been John put a video out. I'm sure it's John who put the video out. I don't know on whose channel, but he put no sound. No sound. The video ain't playing, so can you not hear me? I'm going to check something here. Come on. Fucking hate my phone. Come on. Fuck's sake. I'm just trying to find something here. I'm just testing something out on my phone. Yeah, the sound. I'm just trying to find something here. Yeah. I'm just testing something out. Yeah, there's sound. Because I've just pulled it up on YouTube, so I don't know where there's no sound. Anyway, what was I saying? She went out on her swing, and anyone could have come up that dog path. Right? Try logging back out again and coming back in, Kylie. Because there is sound. I've just tested it on my phone. There is sound. I'm not mute anywhere. So, and there's I said, could it be someone close to the family? Someone who knows Summer and Summer knows them. Someone Summer would trust. Right? And the only third person I can think of who owned a red truck and was close to Summer and Summer trusted them was Robin, the Sunday school teacher. Now, how would she know Summer was up on there on the land at the time? I don't know. Did she take a chance that she was up there? Because don't forget, the dogs had gone away for that day. There was no dogs on the property that day. The dogs had just packed all their bags up and gone away on holiday. Right? So anyone could have come up that dog's trail. And as I said, a young girl of 5, we walk down hills. And it's like, where's my railings? Where's the railings? Even steps. We've got to hold on to something. When I was 13, I'd run up and down hills, no problem. Now, when I hit 30, it's like, no, can't do that no more. Can't do it. Right? Because the fear of what could happen was always in my head. When you're little, you have no fear. You just go wherever, don't you? You run about down hills, up hills, barefoot. When I was little, I was always walking barefoot when I was little. My mum used to go mental at me every time I went out to meet my friends. Right? And this was when I was like 11 and 12. My mum would go, AD, because she always called me AD. AD, put your shoes on. So I put my shoes on. As soon as I got to the top of the road and I turned out of the road, those shoes come off and I tie the laces together, sling them over my shoulder. Right? I'd walk barefoot all day long. Can't do it now. Can just about walk barefoot in my front garden and my back garden. But for a 5-year-old who's got no fear of anything and she's very sociable, she'll go to anyone. She's not shy. So that's why I think, could this be a possibility? Did someone who owns the red truck, who's never come forward, the owner of that red truck has never come forward? Why? And I know on flyers there was mention of a red truck on some of the flyers that was being put out. Robin was going around and blacking all that out on the flyers. And someone pulled her up about it and she said, well, it's of no importance. Yes, it is. It's a red truck that was seen in the area around the time that Summer went missing. So, yes, it is of importance. And that's when we found out that she owned a red truck. Could she have enticed Summer down from her swing? You know what I mean? Summer knows that. Summer trusts her. Summer loved her. She was always clinging on to Robin at the church. Always. Wherever Robin was, you'd find Summer. So I think it is a possibility that someone who knew her and who she trusted did come up just onto the verge of that hill, saw her up on the swing, and managed to get it to come down to them. Boom, down the hill, boom, 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 in the car, and away they go. It is a possibility. Could it have happened? Yes. Like, you cannot dismiss that red truck. That red truck, a red truck was seen in the area at the time that Summer went missing. Could she have had an accident at home? Like, we know for a fact she used to climb up the ladders onto the roof. Could she have fallen off the roof? Right? Would she have wandered off the property and got lost? I don't think she could got lost because I know she would go down to the bottom of the drive. Tell you how I know that? Because her bike was left down there a few weeks before she went missing. Her bike was down there because Fred Hill stopped his van and picked the bike up, put it in his van, and whoever was with him at the time said, why are you taking that? What are you going to do with the girl's bike? And he turned around and said, John will know. So he took her bike, which meant it had to be close to the end of their driveway and close to Ben Hill Road for him to see that bike there. So it means Summer would come down the driveway on her bike. So would she go wondering? It's like I remember Candice saying once, someone was saying about how they play hide and seek. And Summer got all upset and said, I got nowhere to hide. And they said, well, why didn't you hide in the shed down the bottom there? And that's at the bottom of that hill on the other side, by the main road side, right? Where I showed on the map, but I don't know if you saw it or not, but they've got like an old shed there. His mother used to use it for storage. I don't know what for, meat or storage of food or something, right? And there's a big opening from their property down to their other part of their property to that old shed. So someone would go down there. So saying she wouldn't wander off, yes, she could have. So, but to dismiss all of them, but the fact that they have never entertained the fact that she could have had an accident. No, that didn't happen. Candice knows better, as he said in that interview with Brian Enton, when he asked about that. He said, Candice knows better. She knows to phone the police. No, she's not going to phone the ambulance or anything because they've got CPS right on their heels. They don't want their other 3 kids took away from them. But that failed because you have a missing child. Your other kids, especially when you're living in the conditions you was living, are going to be took off you. And especially when you got people coming around with guns and whatever, it's not safe for your kids to be in that house. So there's 3 possibilities. There are more, and we will be looking at them. I just want to quickly finish this, okay? No. Right. I agree. I think they need to go back to the beginning, right? There is no forensics on this case. No. No DNA, no forensics, nothing. Because there was none done. Because the family was still staying in that house the night she went missing. And they were still there the next day, and so on, and so on. In fact, they had, listen to this, they had, what's her name, Robin, and this other guy from their church go up to their house on the night time when she went missing. On the day she went missing, they had Robin and someone else from the church go up to the house. And I'm not saying she's guilty, but I just think there is a possibility that someone who knew Summer, who Summer trusted, I don't think Summer went down to that dungeon. I really don't. And I think someone's come up through the dog trail and has enticed her off the property. Someone she knows, someone she trusts. And that would be someone from the church, because she wasn't at school yet. The only place she ever went was the church. And John said in that interview, she's very careful. She's out there. She's not shy. So I think they need to go back to the beginning of this case. Interview everyone again, because that woman who lived across from them, Lucy or whatever her name is, she said she heard a scream about 4:30, right? And apparently then Candice went and had a word with her and said no, it wasn't 4:30. It probably be more like 6:30, right? So she changed it. And I don't know what to believe. Did she hear a scream at 4:30? If so, was that when possibly there was an accident on the property? It's hard to say, but they need to. And that property, the land, all the way around that land, all that land of theirs needs to be searched. Even if it means getting on your fucking hands and knees and searching that land. Because they won't let the police up there no more. They won't let no one up on that land no more. Why is that? They're very protective about their property, a bit like Chris and Katie. They're very protective about their property. Have they been taking note of John and Candice? Because there's so many similarities in this case, especially when it comes down to the men talking for the women. And yet they weren't even there. John was at work. Chris was at work. Chris was 3 hours away. John was around, I don't know how far away he was, how long away. But he was at work. So how can they talk about this case when they weren't even there? It's only what Candice has told him that he can actually talk about. But we will be looking into this still a bit more. There's a lot more to cover on this case. A lot more possibilities. So we're going to be looking into them. So until next time, thank you for being here and joining in chat. If you've only just found my channel today and you've enjoyed what you've heard, please give this video a like. And please consider subscribing. I don't have memberships, even if I'm not at that stage, because I had to restart my channel, right? Because my other one got took off me. And if I'm not careful, this one's going to get took off me. Right, so I have to be very careful what I say on my videos now. So please consider subscribing. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment. It all helps with the analytics. And I will see you all on the next one. Until then, stay safe.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last.